Ask all of my friends and they'll tell you I'm the nicest, but not if you're in mother freaking ISIS.
You know those character alignment sheets you see on the internet? You know, the ones where you see different fictional characters who are categorized on how good or evil they are, or if they fall under lawful or chaotic, like this Office one, or how about this one on Marvel? I've always been fascinated by the kinds of alignment certain characters fall on, and whether or not I agree with them or not. But instead of just trying to create my own alignment sheet for a certain franchise, why not just create a top 10 for all 9 alignments and try to get a mixture of certain characters and how they act, as well as rank them on their certain alignment as well. Oh, and by the way, we're only looking at animated characters. Any form of character from TV or movies that happen to be animated is considered. And I think the perfect way to start the series is by going for the most good and working our way to the most chaotic. So this video is all about the lawful good characters you see on screen. You know, the all-loving hero, the by-the-books, the reasonable authority figure. If a character believes in the goodness in all beings, whether personal or through law, they qualify for this list. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what I think are the top 10 most lawful good animated characters. I think most people have someone they can depend on when looking for help. You know, the ever so wise person who helps solve our problems when you're in a crisis. You especially need a peacemaker when conflict is afoot, and I think the best representative for that is our favorite groundskeeper Yeti at the park.
You have to keep your ears covered for as long as the bell is ringing.
Okay, Skips.
Rigby, what did I just say?
Keep our ears covered.
For as long as the bell rings. Good.
Skips is an immortal Yeti who works at the park alongside Mordecai and Rigby, who they usually turn to for advice, or in most cases, begging for him to save them from termination. Skips is pretty smart and sometimes stoic, and always tries to help out Mordecai and Rigby, even if it's not his thing.
I got it! I'll just call the bet off!
Call the bet off. Okay.
I think a good reason he makes it on this list is from the episode Skip's Story, where he falls in love with Mona and vows not to fight for her affection. This ends up falling apart though, as the showdown between Skips and Clorkbane results in Mona's demise. Skips now leads a quiet and simple life, and actually changes his name from Walks to Skips, as he and Mona used to skip together. Skips was a reckless teenager who now sees the importance of his life and immortality, and will always share his advice to anyone who needs it.
Dude, Skips, you were wrong. The whole wheat donut was what we needed all along, not more sugar.
What? I was wrong?
I feel like when you're in a working environment, you're always going to have that one coworker who always follows the books and shuns you from making one minor mistake. Think like a teacher's pet for the managers or higher-ups. Now take that, but actually place them at the top of the chain, and you get Leela from Futurama.
Wow, it's so much cleaner than the last time I was here.
Leela, come in. Welcome to your new home.
Our new home.
Okay, I'm a little exaggerating about the teacher's pet thing. That doesn't necessarily apply to Leela here. But by being the captain of the Planet Express, you have to put your crew in order. Leela is the most uptight member of the show, always keeping everyone in order. She definitely follows a moral code and tries to get others to appeal to certain standards and ethics, especially through Bender.
Don't worry, Leela. Soon we'll be able to look back on this and laugh.
I think Leela tries to keep these morals because of her own self-doubt and unsuccessful acceptance as a Cyclops. Growing up as an orphan, Leela feels self-conscious about her appearance, until she meets Fry in the game. Besides that, Leela has the most professionalism to the rest of the crew, and sometimes you need that in a show full of zany idiots. She's committed to her job and her friends, and I think that's a job well done.
I know you like cooking shows, but you're a robot. You don't even have a sense of taste.
Honey, I wouldn't talk about taste if I was wearing a lime green tank top.
Damn!
You know who's always on the lawful good side? Police officers. Alright, okay, I can see there's a couple of naysayers out there. Look, I'm not going to go into a yapping session about the behaviors of certain cops in the world, but I am going to give my flowers to one particular officer out there.
Drop it, creepo. Don't move, Catherine Deneuve. Freezerino, Paul Sorvino.
Joe Swanson follows the law to the T, and he expects his friends and family to do the same. He will even go by arresting them if they ever break the law.
But Sturge, Joe always breaks the law on several occasions. He's just as bad as Peter and the gang.
Yeah, you're right. He has bent the rules a bit. I think most people go to the episode of Quagmire's abused sister and Joe not doing anything about it.
I mean, what happens if one of these nights he hits her so hard he kills her?
Sorry, Quagmire. Police policy, we can't step in until it's too late.
There's also a lot of dumb moments Joe does throughout the series, but Joe is a pretty skilled and honorable police officer, pursuing criminals and rescuing victims. Heck, he will leave his wheelchair behind to complete his duties. Now that's a town hero right there.
This is my wheelchair! There are many like it, but this one is mine!
I tried not including too many superheroes on this list, otherwise this top 10 would be full of them. And if there's one thing people are getting tired of, it's superhero fatigue, so I'm only including one on the list. But who, you may ask? Well, this might be a little surprising, but it's actually one of the most underrated and least talked about heroes of all time. Loverboy.
There he is! There's my favorite white boy!
Nah, I'm just messing with you, it's Batman.
I am not a disgrace. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman!
Now, Batman is a weird one to put on this list, since there are so many other heroes who fit under the lawfully good category. And you could say that sometimes Batman can come across as cold and anti-heroic at some points. But I'm actually looking at his depiction in the 1992 animated series. This version definitely counts as a lawfully good character. Look, Batman's characterization is all over the map, but 1992 Batman knows his morals. He even has his famous thou shalt not kill rule, never taking out a villain's life, even going to save them at some points. He shows way more compassion to sympathetic villains like Mr. Freeze and Harley Quinn, and even goes to tell off more horrible villains why they suck and deserve prison time. Batman is just an all-loving hero, and this animated depiction proves his worth as a trustworthy detective of law.
Call me.
Don't press your luck.
This next pick is a little more interesting than the others, since technically it's two people sharing the same body and our number 6 spot.
You are an experience. Make sure you're a good experience. Now, go have fun!
Garnet is the current leader of the Crystal Gems, and is a fusion of two smaller gems, Ruby and Sapphire. Since both Ruby and Sapphire have an emotional connection and understanding with each other, they both have a healthy bond and fuse correctly, unlike other gems who can abuse others to fuse.
We must move past this, Ruby.
She lied to us so we could form sardonyx! She tricked us! Don't you feel used?
Garnet herself is pretty silent and stoic in the first season, but becomes more emotionally open to her peers and also cheers on Steven with his fusion. Being controlled and patient makes her feel almost machine-like at times, you know, with the stoicism, but she really is more than that. She knows the right thing to do is saving the world. She's kind-hearted, but empathetic, and with the critical acclaim she's gotten over the years, she's definitely a shoo-in for a list like this.
I now pronounce you Garnet!
I feel like if we're talking about any character from the Star Wars franchise, most times a Jedi is what people consider as lawful good. And why wouldn't they be? They are protectors of orders and justice and go through self-discipline in order to make their peacekeeping. But no, I'm not picking a Jedi for this list. Instead, I'm going towards a certain clone trooper who has been a fan favorite since his debut.
If you're a captain and I'm a Jedi, then technically I outrank you, right?
In my book, experience outranks everything.
Man, what do I say about Captain Rex? An upstanding soldier who values his duty to the Republic just as much as he values the lives of his clone brethren. With so many clones in the series, one needs to pick apart their personalities. For Rex, being the captain of course, is a central personality type that other clones aspire to be. He's a no-nonsense trooper who is dedicated to the men serving under him.
What are you doing here, Rex? Don't tell me you're fighting against us. No, not against you. Against the Empire.
So much so, in the Umbara arc of the show, he stands up to his brethren being killed by General Pon's orders, but also doesn't line into rebellion until finding out Pon's true intentions. A standout character in the Clone Wars series.
With all due respect, General, if someone comes to our home, they better be carrying a big blaster.
Now listen, I reckon that if you're living under a monarchy, hopefully your Royal Highness will be all loving and fighting for your independence all day. And if you're especially made out of candy, you would probably look up to a certain gummy princess.
Okay, now aim and jelly bean.
Pow!
Milk ball.
Pow!
Candy corn.
Pow!
Those were all jelly beans, but still, really good.
Princess Bubblegum is a pretty complicated character. You know, when it comes to her character alignment, that is. On the surface, she's very lawful in protecting her candy inhabitants. Then again, these laws that she lives by are also pretty much laws she made up herself. Look, when you declare yourself as Princess of the Candy Kingdom, clearly you need to make up your own rules in order to keep people in check. Funny thing is that she can easily change these laws.
Hey, wait. How did you get that? I could have swore it was locked in my zip.
Nope. Stop talking, go to jail.
After all, she knows what's best for the kingdom and can't decide what to do with these treaties. Heck, she can bend these laws to screw over other kingdoms if it means protecting her candy people. You know, now that I think about it, maybe she is a sociopath. Using more law than actual good, maybe I should switch her out with someone else.
What have you done?
Okay, you can stay on the list. Yeesh. For a long-running franchise, you can easily pick out what characters stand as pure evil and those who stand out as the goodest of good. Take Transformers for example. Megatron and Starscream have always been antagonistic for the longest time.
You are either lying or you're stupid! I'm stupid!
And on the other spectrum, you have the mighty Optimus Prime.
Ironhide, Wheeljack, Trailblazer, Autobots, all of you, do not follow him!
Optimus has pretty much been lawful good in every incarnation that he's in. Whether he's the mighty leader of the Autobots, the Elite Guard washout, or even the last Prime, his morals have been straight to the point. He's generally depicted as a brave and noble leader of the Autobots, and embodies strong moral values and strategic prowess. Easily my favorite Transformer, and easily the most morally Autobot there is.
We were given the power to change our world, and you chose to destroy it.
You know, looking at this list, there are a lot of Cartoon Network characters on this list, and mostly from the 2010s era too. Skips, Garnet, Bubblegum, they all fit into this alignment. But let's go back a decade and talk about one of the network's more mature shows, and its main character.
It is my duty to oppose the minions of Aku, and my mission to vanquish the very demon himself.
Samurai Jack just oozes cool factor, but his main standout characterization is his burning urge to do good. He has a deep respect for certain traditions and a desire to help others when they're in trouble. This is pretty much the sole reason why his goal of returning to his past has yet to be fulfilled, that is, until he finally did go back. The hero's journey greatly impacts Jack and his identity as a hero, and the choices he makes throughout the series is why he is morally good as they come.
Are you mad? She's pure evil.
She's lost her way.
Before we get to what I think is the most lawful good anime character, here are a few honorable mentions.
Princess Cadance was given the Crystal Empire to rule over. What if now that I'm a princess, Celestia expects me to lead a kingdom of my own?
I'll admit, I've never seen an episode of My Little Pony in my life, and I tend to keep it that way until I get a following here on YouTube and people start begging me to review it, or if the bronies catch me first. Nevertheless, I can see a lawful good character when I see one. She seems like the very helpful leader of the group, and is always there to protect her friends. I think that's worth a mention. Bronies, please don't come after me.
What the? Oh, come on, you nincompoop!
The cowardly attorney from Boondocks. Tom always follows the laws, hence his attorney position, but this is also because he's clueless and frightened of ever breaking it. He acts very opposite of the other black characters in the show, and definitely gets ridiculed as well.
An oversight. The Shush Manual states no civilian is to be used as an agent unless he has passed the standard proficiency test.
I mean, this is literally a peacekeeping organization. It doesn't get any more lawful than this. The Shush headquarters deals with terrorist attacks and aims for a safer world. Well, until they have to contact Darkwing. This may be a bit iffy, but I think Jet Black shows the lawful side to him. While everyone else can be considered chaotic, Jet has shown to be dedicated to the law and his job as a bounty hunter. A bit cynical, but fairly realistic portrayal of this alignment.
How many people live here?
Me and my mom.
So 2.
My dad.
3.
Died.
2. You wasted my time a little bit.
Probably the most controversial one of the list, hence why he's not on the list proper. Like Stan is very endangering towards others, not to mention inconsiderate and sometimes racist. He's insanely drastic. On that note, he does take an extreme code of law, and while it does lead to some devastating things to come, he still tries to be a little genuine, especially towards his family. He tries to make things better, and I think that's worth a nod. Phew, okay, now let's see who takes our top spot as the most lawful good cartoon character. You know, of all my picks so far, we haven't really gotten anyone from the big screen. You know, someone made from a big movie studio like DreamWorks or Illumination. That's a laugh, I take that back. But really, out of all the picks for this list, who could stand against being the most lawfully good character in animation? Well, why not a dead dad?
One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here, and will rise with you as the new king.
Mufasa, everybody. My pick for the #1 most lawfully good animated character. Honestly, I don't think this will be a huge shock. The King of the Pride Lands, Mufasa honors the traditions of his kind and the circle of life as a wise and just king. Not to mention, he's an authoritative yet devoting father to his son Simba, rather than just being a purely regal figure.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars.
Even after his traumatic death, which isn't a spoiler, you should all know this by now, Mufasa gives guidance to Simba to return to Pride Rock as the spirit in the sky. And I think having a fatherly warmth and being a gentle giant to not just his kind, but to all of the animals in Pride Rock deserves the #1 spot.
Remember who you are. You are my son.
And there you have it. I probably missed certain characters that you considered lawfully good under this alignment, so I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if this video does well, I will definitely do some more top 10s on the subject in the future, probably starting next with some neutral good characters. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'm still a very small channel and would love to see this grow in the future. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.